Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of my series Python in Houdini. Today we're going to be making a more useful Python shelf tool. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating an object node and renaming it, and creating a sphere node and renaming that. So let's get started. Just like last time, we're going to right click, new tool. Let's call it create sphere and give it a label, create sphere. And so our first line of code is import the HOU module, which is how Python accesses Houdini's nodes, node framework, and parameters. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create access to our obj menu, which is this, so that whenever we create a node, it's going to be looking at here and not any of the other ones. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go obj equals geo.create node. So you might be wondering, what are these two? How did I get these two? So up here in help, contents, there's a nice little pop-up menu that goes through a lot of things that Houdini has, but we're going to be going down to Python scripting and scrolling down to the who reference. And then you can look around or search node. In this case, the node function has two, the uppercase n and a lowercase n. And that's how we got who.node, creating our obj, and then creating our geo. Now, why geo, or how do we get geo? So anytime we create a new node, in this case it's geometry, when we click this I for information, you see that in brackets here it says geo, and every single node should have this. It's a simplified version. I don't know, if you go to something more complicated and then go over to the menu, there it is. So let's create our geo. And if we click this button, ta-da, we have a geo. And a geo by itself isn't very interesting, so let's give it a name. In order to give a node a name, as well as the string, you give it another string afterwards, which has the name. So we're going to call it my geo. Apply, click, and ta-da. And you notice that if in the string you choose to include a space, which Houdini doesn't let you have spaces for node names, you click it, you have an error. And it's not really that descriptive, but this error basically says when you're creating a node, you're not allowed to have spaces or a lot of special characters. And now inside it, we're going to create a sphere node. So just like here, we created a geo using geo. Inside, if we make a sphere, and we look over here, it's sphere. Alright, so we're going to say sphere equals obj.create node. So we're creating it inside our obj. And we're going to call it sphere and name it my sphere. So we're creating a sphere inside our my geo, and we're going to call it my sphere. So if I click apply and click up here, ta-da, we have my geo, and if I go inside, it's named my sphere. It's not super interesting, but just like the one up here, it works to just simplify the daily monotonous tasks. And as we get into larger and more complicated tools, we're going to ideally shorten the amount of work that effects artists and people using Houdini will use. That's the point of creating shelf tools. Well, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.